Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of ABS. You're watching MinaTV. Hi everybody.
What's up, Charlie?
Oh my God, we were having so much fun. Like, you guys don't understand what goes on behind the scenes, but we were having so much fun, y'all, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Fun with you guys. Always.
Awesome. T-Money, what's going on with you?
I'm good.
You good?
I'm just thinking about the things I'm gonna do for the.
Hey, you trying to be like me with the glasses or something like that? Because I'm known for the glasses, honey.
Not really.
Okay,
you know.
all right. I just saying. But last week, you know, the blogs went crazy. And we're here to bring you everything that they were saying and more. So you guys are ready to dig in?
Yes.
You know, I don't like wasting time. I just like to go straight.
Yes.
Okay, so our first story today is about Nina Hastie. So if you don't know who Nina Hastie is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but she's from South Africa. She's a comedian. She has done a little bit of acting as well. She posted a picture of herself wearing there's a tribe in South Africa called the Zulu, and she was wearing an outfit head to toe of what the Zulu tribes wear, and she had a lot of backlash. So basically people were saying that it's a form of cultural appropriation. So basically she was stealing the tribe's outfit and doesn't really know what, like, the importance of it. So what do you guys think about this whole issue about cultural appropriation?
Wait, what did she say when she got all this backlash?
Well, basically what she said was, and I quote, she said, "I love the Zulu culture. Next year I might go into spaces that allow me to learn about other cultures as well." So basically what she's saying is, I just love it. I just love the colors, the fabric, the whole idea of what these people are wearing, and I just wanted to wear it. So she didn't think much of it. She was just wearing it for fun.
But she's South African, right?
She's South African, but I don't think she's part of that tribe.
No, she's not.
She's not. So, and she's white.
Yeah, she's white.
So people were like, "Oh, this is our thing. Why are you stealing the way we dressed, our culture?" So what do you guys think about that?
But, well, I don't think it's a big deal because for the fact that she's South African in South Africa, promoting South African culture as a white woman.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a big deal. Even people on the other side of the continent do it, like Beyonce's and the others, and people don't say anything about it.
Well, Beyonce's black though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
she's
she-
South African.
Yeah.
You know, even if she's white, she's South African.
But you know, I'm not saying this is my opinion, but I'm just thinking as a viewer watching, somebody else might say, you're saying that, but at the same time, one, she's not from the Zulu tribe. If you make it okay for her to do it, then you're making it okay for everyone else to do it. So if
It
she's not
depends
from
on what
the Zulu
she
tribe,
wasn't making mockery of it. She was promoting it because she loves the culture, according to her, right?
Well, you could say that she was using it to promote her stuff.
Herself.
You know, she was using it as a benefit of something else. She doesn't really understand what the colors even mean. You know what I mean? So people do feel very protective of their culture.
Yeah, depends
Like,
on what you promote with it.
Yes, there's a lot of cultures that, like, let's say in Ghana, let me use the beads as an example, because when I went to college, there was a lot of girls that were wearing the beads around, you know, the beads around the waist beads. And they were just wearing it for fashion. Like, they could walk on campus and you could see their beads. And in my head, I'm like, wow, do you know the importance behind just wearing just beads? They might see it as, you know, something common, but it's like, it's not fashion. Like, we don't do it for fashion. We do it because there's reasons behind it, you know? So if you're going to steal other people's culture, just make sure that you do your homework. I'm saying that word again, and know the importance of it, you know?
Yeah,
even if it's from a good place.
I think that I don't know. Sometimes it's touchy. Like, can someone else wear your attire? I guess I'm thinking of even like Nigerian weddings, like the Nigerian clothing. Like, if I invite my American friend, I assume she's gonna be wearing the same exact dress that my other Nigerian friends are gonna be wearing.
And you don't
too.
mind them coming in?
No, you have to match. This is my wedding. Everybody has to say, like, no, like, I don't think when I go to weddings and I see people of other cultures wearing Nigerian clothes, I feel like there's nothing, like, as long as you give credit. Like, it's not like, I just suddenly,
give credit,
I suddenly wore these beads out of nowhere.
So then how would you feel if you see like a white person having a wedding and everything about it is Nigeria? Everything up, like the head wrap.
Is she marrying a
And
Nigerian?
no, it does happen. It just, they like it. They love it. Like, there are people here
weird.
that even wear Indian outfits because, you know, they like the way it looks and stuff like that. So would you feel any different if you see that?
I feel like you have to have a tie to the culture. What is the point? It's a costume.
You have a point, because what you're saying now, what I was saying is it doesn't matter because she's South African, but you were telling me something that she doesn't even understand the meaning of the colors of what she's wearing, because sometimes it's very necessary to know what you're wearing and why you're wearing it, like the girls with the beads. Because even where I come from, in Delta State, I'm Delta Igbo, in our culture, right? as a young man, if my father is still alive, I can't wear a red hat.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I can wear white, I can wear green. But now, if I'm ignorant and I put on a red hat, it's a taboo because my dad is supposed to be dead. It's what we wear for his funeral. You understand? So it's just like her now wearing colors that she doesn't even know the meaning of what it is. So she has to do her research. So if she's pushing it in a positive light, she's trying to promote, I love the Zulu culture, still go do your research. Study about them so you know what you're wearing. Because you might just be wearing something that the color says if she's wearing purple, kill her. And if they kill you, what happens?
Listen, I don't like it. I don't like it at all, whether she's South African or she's not. My personal opinion, I hate culture appropriation. I absolutely hate it. I'm sick and tired of it. People have been taken from cultures for many, many years, and it needs to stop. I don't like it. If she liked the tribe so much and she wanted to show love to the tribe, and you're so famous and you're so popular, take a whole film crew. Take them there. Speak to the people there.
That's true.
Get to know the people there. Get their word out.
Exactly.
Get their story out. Send it out to all platforms, and then after that, do a photo shoot with them.
But sometimes,
then I'll give you a round of applause.
The whole subject of cultural appropriation, like, kind of, it confuses me.
Well, let's define it first.
Hold on, it confuses me sometimes.
What's cultural appropriation, please?
Well, okay, so let's break it down into two. Cultural is basically the way people live, right?
Yeah.
Their way of living, what they believe in, and stuff like that. Appropriation is basically I don't want to say stealing, but using
it for your benefits, you know, and not giving credit when it's due.
Exactly.
And that's what the problem is. There's nothing wrong with different cultures have. For example, I love the Caribbean culture and I love Caribbeans, you know, but you can't just go there and steal from them and take it. Like, you have to give credit when it's due. Because I love it so much. I made sure I visited the place. I made sure I got to know the people, whatever. So that when you're talking about something, you know what you're talking about and you understand it. You just don't put something on because it looks good or no, it's wrong. It's completely wrong.
Listen, I get both sides, right? But the idea of you telling me that I cannot adopt other people's culture, doesn't it promote segregation? Doesn't it promote, like, all right, you do this and I do this,
you can
and
adopt
don't
it in a respectful way.
Yeah.
Sometimes some things, like, to me, like that wedding example when you said the people who are not Nigerian or just having a Nigerian wedding, that to me is kind of disrespectful.
It's
weird. And it's
but you do the white wedding, and the white wedding is not your culture.
But I'm Christian, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
White wedding means you're Christian.
Yeah, but it came from the western
I'm wearing
side,
a
though.
white dress. I understand, but that's
you understand?
But
sure?
that's Christian. It's not. I'm not staking another culture. Anybody can be Christian of any race, any ethnicity.
No, but who introduced it to you? Who introduced
my
the
family?
Isn't it in the Bible? Isn't the white wedding in the Bible?
We're Igbo. All Igbo people are Christian.
I understand that, but who brought the Christianity to Africa?
Probably white people.
Okay, so
but you can't say that they brought the white because Christianity is a religion. That's completely. That's
so when the Bible doesn't say wear a white gown and a veil and then you make kids the bride. When the Bible doesn't say
it in the Bible, because every Christian I know gets married that way. Gets married in a church and goes to church.
It came from the Western culture. The whole fairy tale of the wedding, that is not your culture. So if you're telling the white people not to wear the lace and the abdus, then you two don't do the gowns.
But you know, a lot of Nigerians, they don't do white weddings. That's what I'm confused with.
These days they do.
No, I would do a white wedding because that's important to me. But a lot of Nigerians do not do a white wedding. They just do a traditional wedding.
So do you see that in a way you are kind of still, you don't see that?
No, you know why it's not stealing? You know why it's not stealing? Because they brought it to us. But when it's stealing is when you go take it without them bringing it to you. That's stealing. Stealing is taking something that is not yours, that wasn't given to you. So they brought it to us. So that's different. But with regards to that segregation that you talked about, I think you have a point. Because, we're mixing cultures these days all the time, as long as she gives the right credit. But
because you see,
just don't say you invented
it. My problem with cultural appropriation is just not giving the credit when it's due.
Just give credit.
There's nothing wrong with her wearing the Zulu. You can wear whatever you want to wear. You can want to do whatever. But when you start to refer to the Zulu tribe and make sure you know what you're talking about. Go there, and that's why I bring this up all the time. But I just bring it up because it's a great example what French Montana did. He went to Uganda. He shot a video there. He did documentaries about the place.
He showed respect.
He interviewed them. He brought some of them over to America. That's not only are you embracing it, you're learning it, and French Montana is big. He has 4 million followers. He's introducing that whole culture to 4 million new people. That's a totally different way. He used it to his benefit. He gave them credit. He got them paid. He actually had those kids on a world tour in America where they were touring and actually getting paid.
There's so many rules. It's either you don't want to do it or you do it. Because black people, I'm sorry, I'm black, I'm African, but I'm saying we get so sensitive sometimes, too sensitive. It's like, oh, we could do all the weaves and all of that, but you can get braids, you can get dreadlocks because it's our culture. It's like, but you're wearing,
you can get it.
You're wearing blonde. No, I'm saying if a black person wears all the straight hair and the blonde hair, they don't get so much backlash as to a white person getting braids or getting dreads. It becomes
I
like...
disagree with you because you know what, Charlie? That's the beautiful thing about being black is that black people are the only people that we can be born white, we can be born brown, we can be born yellow, we can be born red, we can be born with curly hair. I know black people that do not, my sister does not have a perm and has long straight hair down to her back without a perm. Okay. So that's the beautiful thing about being black is we come with so much variety that you can find a black person with natural blonde hair.
But
you can find a black person with green eyes. But you can't find a white person with nappy hair or with cornrows.
Yes, you can.
Born naturally?
Yes.
With nappy hair? I've never seen that.
Yes, the thing that I'm saying is, the rules has to apply to all.
So if you are black, to do your stuff,
yes, then don't do my stuff.
That's what
but the difference is, for example, Black China has been wearing cornrows for an absolute long time. A lot of celebrities wear cornrows. Kim Kardashian wore cornrows, and Vogue put it. Kylie Jenner wore cornrows, not Kim, and Vogue put it. New trend. Kylie Jenner, brand new thing.
That's when it gets like, hold up.
Because Kylie Jenner did not start the braids trend. And when China had been wearing braids for like the past 5 years.
That's what people, I think that's the point you're kind of missing. Is
no,
that
I'm not missing it, I get
because
it.
That's why people are mad. They're like, wait, because like even, Beyonce's child, I don't know her child's name. She has an afro. Okay.
Blue Ivy.
Blue Ivy, she has an afro. And then Kim Kardashian finally released her child's hair in an afro. And do you know Vogue took that photo and said, natural hairstyles for kids? Then they used, they said, oh, new trend, natural hair. And then they used all mixed kids.
Yeah.
For black hair. What? Beyonce, actually, Erykah Badu's, like, they could use so many pictures, but that's why people are talking about cultural appropriation. But even Red Bull, the drink, Red Bull has a trademark in every single country except I think it's Thailand, because Red Bull is actually a natural Thailand drink. So some guy just was drinking it there, and he said, you know what, I really like this, found out the ingredients, and then sold it and become a billionaire. So that's what I'm saying. That's the history behind cultural appropriation. It's not like, oh, people make it seem like it's so light. No, you're making tons of money off of something that we've been doing. We started. Give us the money, give us the credit.
But you do know that you can still argue on both sides, though, that there are some things that also black people, sometimes we take something and we make it golden because we are very
trendsetters
like that. So I'm saying if you're going to make a rule, make sure that each side understand exactly what it is.
Okay, so for example, you keep on saying black people. So black people, have you ever seen a black person wear Indian clothes? Just like for straight Indian, like as
except I'm sure.
No, Nigerian.
No, I'm sure.
Except for a movie, but no. But
that's why for like events.
But, okay, but like, I have never really seen any other minority dressed completely as in another culture's garb without it like paying respect. Like, oh, I'm at my friend's wedding and she's Indian, so I'm wearing Indian clothes. You will never see a black person just, oh, I'm going to wear Indian clothes. Let me just wear. Like, why?
Some people do it. I'm sorry to bring that to you. Some people do it.
Just head to toe for no reason.
Yeah, some people do it because they like it. When you travel there, you like it. You like how it looks.
If you're in India, I'm saying when you are in the United States, you're going to an event, you're like, I'm going to wear Indian clothes.
I've been to a wedding, honestly, and shout out to Yvonne. Yvonne wore an Indian outfit because she likes the way it looks. It's fashion. My friend Yvonne, shout out to you. Oh, okay. But she wore it because she likes the way it is.
That's not normal for us.
That's not normal but it does happen.
We don't do that. It happens so much for white people to go to other places. That's what people are talking about.
So, shouldn't be like a compliment? I feel like it's a compliment. If you want to copy what I'm doing, it's a compliment. Then kudos to you. That means I'm doing something right. But I understand what you're saying. Make sure you give credit. Make sure you
as long as you give credit.
Because it would have been awesome if she dressed in Zulu and she was standing in a zoo with Zulu men or women or whatever tribe. If she stood with them like, hey, I'm dressed like this because I'm here and I'm paying respect.
But you can't dictate how she's gonna do it.
But
then she's wearing a costume.
She's wearing it already.
But can I say
even if it's in the studio, like she's taking a picture, it don't matter. But as long as she gives credit.
As much as I hate when people do that, the most important thing, something that my opinion is, as Africans, we don't protect what's ours.
Yeah,
for example,
intellectual property.
We don't do that. We don't know what that is. What is that?
For example, everyone in America gets up. People trademark their names, their company business. For example, Ankara is not trademarked. Kente is not trademarked.
No, that's
you have so many people stealing all of the. There's a furniture store in Manhattan that has couches, and they've put Ankara all over it, and they sell the couches for like $2,000. And they're making all the money. But Ankara, people just go to. I know why people don't go to Ghana and they buy what is it called, containers of Kente, and they do whatever they want with it, and nobody stops them because there's no trademark, there's nothing. So as much as I hate when people do this and we can talk and we can complain and complain, if our politicians and our government is not doing what they have to do to protect ours, it's like, why are you even gonna be mad? You understand what I'm saying? So that plays a big, that's why I always tell people, like, I can't wait to go back to Ghana and do what I have to do to help my country after everything that I've learned from this great country, America. And I always encourage my friends that we should do the same, because if we don't protect our culture, soon there will be no culture.
And just like you were saying, so much has been stolen from Black people, period, around the entire world without giving credit. And it's like, then on top of that, you're gonna steal our clothes too? You're gonna steal our hair? You're gonna steal our makeup? Like, that's why when people talk about cultural appropriation, I hear a lot of what you're saying. It make it sound like light, but it's like, it's a history. It's the history. Everything has been taken. Now you take it, come back. You stole so much, and now you come back. What do you want from us?
Rock and roll was started by a Black man.
Thank you.
The blues was started by a Black man. Right now, when you look in history books, you don't see Black faces to those things.
None.
They give rock and roll credit to someone like Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
Where was Elvis when a Black man was starting it?
We should steal something that hurts these people, yo.
You know,
do they even have so
that's
much of
why
a
we have to
culture?
stick
They don't
together.
have so much of a culture.
They do have a culture. Everything
What's
is
their
white
culture?
Domination. It's like domination and elimination. That's what it is. Like, talk about
sometimes I just think about it like, okay, fine. Almost everything originated from Africa. Almost, not everything though, but come on.
A lot of things have.
These people just came, they looked at our resources.
And they dominate.
They used money on us, they used pounds and everything to deceive us, to buy our chiefs.
You know,
took all our resources, took our slaves.
And we're still sitting here and allowing them to do a lot of things to us. And that's why it's very, very important for us to come together. And that's why, like, sometimes when you see petty little things, people arguing over not, you know, it's just like, come on, let's really get together and focus on the bigger picture. And what we really need to look at.
We have enough to worry about already, so we should just stay together.
But and I do like the point you talked about intellectual property. Now, we've all been educated. We understand how to make money. So now, all of you guys need to go out and get some money and do it legally. Intellectual property, file trademarks. Let's not play these games anymore. They can't steal what's already trademarked. For real.
And if the governments of the nations of Africa focus on these things, they're going to generate a lot of money.
Billions of dollars.
But they don't
care about
Everybody's focusing on oil and other resources. There's so many ways you can make money for Africa, even the culture.
And especially now that the Nigerian music scene has exploded, there's so much.
The entertainment business.
Billions. Like, I think music is like a significant part of the GDP of Nigeria.
Right now,
and it's like, now it's time to protect the artists. If you want to keep these billions in Nigeria, you want to keep these billions in Africa, you need to protect these artists, because just like you mentioned, Omarion, all these other people are taking Afro beats. And it's like, a lot of this stuff should have been trademarked. Just like they trademarked their stuff, you need to trademark yours. Let's not play these games.
Totally agree.
All right, shout out to Nina, and we're going to move on to the next topic. What is going on?
Actually, this next topic goes very in sync with what we were talking about. Somalia just celebrated its first female pilot.
Oh.
Wow.
I think they deserve a snap for that, because, you know, Somalia is a Muslim country.
Yeah.
They're very strict, a lot of different rules, and it took this long for them to have she's about 58 or 59 years old.
Wow.
She was born in 1958, I believe. Her name, forgive me if I say it wrong, is Abdul Rahman Alpha. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that was completely wrong. Let me get her name right. Her name is Asli Hassan Abade.
That sounds right.
Yeah, Abade. The last name is Abade. Hopefully I said it right, and I was right. She's 59 years old, and she lived overseas for most of her life, and then she just came back to the country July of this year. And, you know, she's the first and only working female pilot. I just thought that was so amazing when I read it up because, as you know, with the Muslim countries, there are a lot of, like, rules. In
For
some
women.
countries, yes, women can't even vote. They can't work.
They can't go to mosque.
Well, I don't know if that's the case for Somalia, but I definitely have to give her kudos for everything she's done because right now a lot of people are returning to Somalia and it's dangerous. Like so many returnees from, I think there's a strong population like Minnesota, like some random state in the United States, and they're returning, and it's a dangerous time. So I have to give her props for not only being the first female pilot,
I think she's
but
the
also
first
returning.
in Africa because she
No.
has been a
No,
pilot for
she's not
20
in the whole
something
Africa.
years.
She's
Not in the
You
whole.
sure she's not?
Yes.
But
Well,
it's not a noun record. She's been a pilot for 20 something years, but she just
okay.
Oh, she
returned
was
home.
the
So she's
first
being
in Africa.
celebrated for
that.
for coming
well,
back
there
home.
are other female pilots in Africa. Shineri Kalu from Nigeria, Patricia Mauli from Ghana, Irene Mutinji from Kenya. So there are some working.
But how many years have they been?
No, I mean, at least it's something.
Yeah, something.
So they are paving ways, and
Yeah.
me personally, I can't do it. I'm scared of heights. I'm really scared of everything. So if somebody,
You're scared of everything.
That's why
said everything.
That's why I still clap when I get landed by
you're
I'm like yes, I'm alive. Kudos to pilots, but yeah, so good for her. She paved the way for a lot of this pilots coming up, and
Yeah,
I'm
I
all
think
for it.
I just thought that it was super cool. She lived in the country before. She was in the Air Force before she left the country over 20-something years ago.
20-something years ago, yeah.
She was a pilot in the, I don't think she was a pilot yet, but she was in the Air Force. Then she left, and she lived in America. She went back in 2011 for the first time. She just went back for like 24 hours. She flew to deliver supplies there, and then she just really loved it. And then this year, she finally went back, and she's working as that. And it's amazing, because when the pictures that I saw of her, she was actually wearing the whole Muslim attire whilst flying the plane. And I don't know if that's how she literally flies every day, but I just thought that
It was cute.
yeah, that was cool. That's really amazing because
this goes a long way to tell that we have to really celebrate these women who are brave. Some of them in the army, in the Air Force, some of them have lost their lives, and being a pilot is not easy. I know a lot of people who are claustrophobic, even guys, let alone a female pilot in front, flying through the sky.
And this goes to show you that you could do it all. Because especially a woman in Africa, you know how many
especially being a Muslim,
things you have to
right?
overcome.
She's Muslim, right?
Yeah.
And according to AfricanNews.com, she flew her first plane in 1976. Geez, I wasn't even born. I don't even think.
None of us.
I don't even think my parents had met. I don't even know. That was a very long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just. It just goes to show, really, like Charlie's saying, how brave and strong she is. Because back then, just imagine, she was probably the only woman, like, in the Air Force.
Flying rickety
probably
flights.
like 2 or yes.
Those flights? Did you ever when I would go to Nigeria when I was a kid, I would be terrified to fly in the country because they had these tiny planes and it was like rickety. Like I don't know how to, like the wind could blow.
They still are.
Oh my God. They're better now.
Don't
They're way
put that
better.
out there. Let me just put that out there. We have some good airlines in Nigeria.
No, they're great
local
airlines, but I'm just saying, like, when you're going from, like,
flying
one part of
beautiful.
Nigeria
we
to
have
another.
private jets. Some of our pastors have private jets. We have good airlines in Nigeria, for the record.
We have some good airlines.
Let's not
We
talk
have-
about the pastors and the jets today. Not
Oh my
today.
God.
No, I'm just
I know,
saying,
right?
like,
But anyway, shout out to her. Let's move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
What is going on, guys?
The next topic is about another beautiful South African lady, Thusi. We all know Thusi.
We've talked about Pearl Thusi
Yeah,
before.
about her all
she's
the
one of the
time.
cast for
She's a great
Quantico.
name.
Quantico, yeah. So she
Look
was.
at her, stunning.
She's gorgeous.
You
Why
need
don't
to
you
see.
look
You
like
need to see her
Masika?
daughter. You need to see her daughter.
From Love and Hip Hop. I'm
Looks
sorry.
like
go ahead.
Masika.
Yes.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Masika is beautiful too.
She is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. She just looks like
Yeah.
her. All right. So what's going on with her?
She was interviewed last week by DJ Fresh on Metro FM, one of the biggest radio stations in South Africa, and this is what she said. Allow me to read. Thusi has opened up about the negative impact watching older women around her stay in unhappy and broken relationship. She said, "The one thing that I regret on my mother's behalf is that she didn't leave my father. I used to beg her to do it. The relationship did not look like a lot of fun, and it was affecting us. She would stay. She stayed for me. I loved my dad, and so if she didn't want to leave earlier, it was probably because she was worried. But the thing is, she said that the experience she had while growing up in an abusive home has made her come up with the final statement that she would rather die alone than be in an unhappy relationship." What do you guys think about it?
Agree.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I was just talking about this yesterday. I absolutely love it. Like there's nothing wrong with being single if you're really truly happy. If you've really accomplished all your life goals, you have a great job, you have a great career, you have friends, you have family that loves you. Why do you have to settle for a mediocre man or a mediocre marriage to make your friends happy? No, I'm with it. I love it.
So,
I love it,
and
I'm fine.
what do you guys call an unhappy relationship as a woman? What do you think is tagged an unhappy relationship?
You're not happy.
If you just, I mean, if I'm happy.
Abusive. You want to get into it with African men. I'm not saying all African men, but majority carries the vote. Very demanding. Very, some are abusive. Some of them they really just like to overshadow the women. Some of them don't even want to see, not that they don't want to see their women do well, they don't want to see their women more successful than them. Then all of a sudden it becomes like an ego problem, then there's fighting and arguing in the house all the time, cheating. The list goes on and on,
I hope she's not saying this because she can keep a man. I'm just hoping she's not saying this because she can keep a man. But according to the Audacity.com...
Wait, that was shady.
It was shady, but I give the shade. Okay,
but he's true. He's right. Maybe she can't keep a man.
As well.
Maybe she can't have kids, so she's
she has a daughter.
She has a daughter.
Okay. But
I'm saying maybe she can't, but according to the AudacityOnline.com, there are several reasons why people specifically stay single. They want to stay single because they're much happier by themselves. They discover themselves. I'm like, they're not in a relationship where like somebody's telling you what to do and stuff like that. There's less stress. You don't have to deal with their BS if you don't want to. They see things from different perspective, and also they can also try new things without somebody,
I
telling
think
them
as
not
humans,
to.
we're supposed to be paired. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about for life, but I definitely think relationships and are really important, and maybe you don't have to be married in order to have that. But I think that anytime, like going back to your abusive, like what is unhappy marriage?
Happy marriage,
anything you just come home and you just dread going home. Don't we all have friends who are married who are like, let's stay out, let's do this. I'm like, don't you ever see your husband? What's that issue? They're really stressed out.
They'd rather be
somewhere else. If that's an issue, then maybe you shouldn't be married.
Well, I like what you said about everybody needs to be paired. Not necessarily like marriage or anything like that. I agree because it's like you need to talk to somebody. You need to cuddle. You need to, I don't know, something because
let me find out Charlie's a lover boy.
I'm a lover boy. So you need somebody because you can't always call your friends because your friend is already booed with somebody.
Yeah.
And even your boo gets a boo sometimes.
And you know what too? Sometimes we fail to realize that, like you see, she grew up in an abusive home, right?
Yes.
There are two things when you get older. It's either you become just like your mom and you always pick men that are always going to be abusive towards you, or you break that cycle. But 90% of the time, you end up dating guys that are just like your dad.
That's can you not say a number because it's too high?
No,
can
but
you back it up with the source? Though. Yeah, but 90% it's from where?
Like I read it, I forgot where I read it at, but I mean, check it out online. Like it goes to show, like it's the same thing with like even like people that are abused. Like if you're abused, you end up most of the time they end up like abusing someone else too because they were abused.
Okay, so I like the most of the time because that number seems high for me. I don't know.
But you have a point though. But can you guys not agree with me when I always say psychologically that the environment?
But I didn't finish my thought. What I was gonna say, sorry.
Shade.
Because no, it's not. I'm throwing shade. But I just wanted to get to a point, and the point that I'm making is sometimes we don't realize as women that maybe the problem is us. Woman, man, like sometimes you're not meeting the right guy or your relationship is not working, or sometimes it's not all the time that you blame the other person or you blame the man. Sometimes even as a woman you have to look into yourself and be like, why am I always stuck in this situation? How come my husband is doing this? And then you have to analyze yourself. So I like the point that Charlie brought up that, I mean, I'm glad she said that statement because as we can see, a lot of African women are stuck in horrible relationships. But I like the point that Charlie brought up as well, too, that I hope it's not hair,
But what I was saying is psychologically, most of the time, the environment we grow up in goes a long way to affect our perception of life in all aspects, relationship, culture, the things you believe in and the things you don't believe in. So somebody like her who grew up in an abusive home, sometimes it might psychologically affect her. If she's dating a man and maybe he just raises his voice and they're having a fight, she might just have that shock, you know?
Well, that goes back to what Yasi said. She needs to work on, that person needs to work on themselves.
On themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, one
then
thing that
you
I
need
like,
to see a therapist or something like that.
One thing that I like about what she said was, she said she didn't like the fact that her mom and the dad stayed in that relationship.
Yeah,
even
because
though it
she
was
actually
bad.
wanted her mom to leave.
And it goes back to mothers and women always saying that, oh, I'm just gonna stay in this marriage
It's an
for
African thing.
the kids. They always want to do it for the kids. Sometimes, yes, it's good to do it for the kids, but you have to do it for yourself as well. Because if you're not healthy and you're not happy, it's gonna affect the kids.
You might
And
lose
it
your
does
life.
affect the kids.
that.
And it does affect the kids, but you know, sometimes it's easier said than done. You know, when you're married to someone, that's all you know. You have 1, 2, 3. It's hard. It's hard to be a parent, to be a family, and then just imagine being a parent all by yourself.
And in
It's,
Africa, it's
you
a
know,
cultural thing. You know, when you leave a home, they always blame it on the woman and say she didn't do this right, she didn't do that right. So sometimes people just stay pressured and they got to stay there. But you might still lose your life. It's a risk. Like Trevor Noah, he lost his mom because of an abusive home.
Yeah.
So sometimes if you have to get out, get out.
Get out. And Thusi, you know, stay single. You can Thusi yourself if you
Can
want.
I ask a question? Has she been married?
you don't
Has she
need
been
that
married
man to
before?
Thusi.
No, she's never been married. She only had a baby with another guy. They were
So
having a
yeah,
good
so
relationship.
shout out to her. Stay single and be happy if that.
If that's
what
what
She's an
she
eligible
want.
bachelorette too.
Yes, so
See money, maybe you can make your
I'm
moves.
going to South Africa this December.
Yes. All right. So what's going on? What's the next story, guys?
Well, the next story is hilarious. I don't know. I saw it and I thought it was hilarious. It was this guy was trying to engage in relations with a sex worker.
No, please be specific.
Yeah, be
I don't like
specific.
what is your English. Break it down.
Well, there is a guy who was trying to, have sex with a sex worker, and
As in a P. You don't want to say that word, like a
with a P?
prostitute? Like,
Oh, what a prostitute! That's the word. I couldn't remember.
oh, okay. 'Cause you're
I
saying
was using
sex
that word
worker.
last week. Prostitute, and now you forgot
And
the
now you're
word.
trying
Oh,
to be
Charlie,
decent.
you always getting at us.
Yes.
No, come on.
All right. So what is the story?
So the guy was having sex with a prostitute. She opened her legs and he ran.
Why?
Because he said the
He was
smell-
afraid of the
What
nunu.
country was it, Nigeria? It had to be Nigeria.
What do you mean by it had to be in Nigeria? Excuse me, what does that mean? Are you trying to say, wait, what do you mean by it had to be in Nigeria?
Because I just like
All
bothering my
refugees.
Nigerian people. You know I'm half Nigerian. I love my Nigerians. I just love messing with
still
So
don't
you.
what
I
you're
don't
saying
get
is a man walked up to a sex worker, let's say,
And they were in the car, and then she, opened
And
her
then
legs.
opened her
So
legs.
is this a
Wait,
photo?
wait, they wanted to do it
is
in the
this
car.
a photo?
Yeah, this is a photo. And the thing is,
What, is this a joke? No,
Yeah, this
seriously.
is a
Did you
real-
read?
It has a video too. The reason I thought this was entertaining was, twofold. The story was funny, but then, second thing is a lot of women are insecure about, their smell and all this other stuff. And I was thinking that if you smelled so badly, you definitely have an STD. And I looked it up.
No.
I looked it up,
To an
and
extent,
they said
it's
that
possible.
either you have some sort of infection or you have an STD. Or it's just your natural scent, which I pray.
Well, listen, according to MMD, there's several reasons why women get that smell. It could be your diet,
Yeah, that's true.
medication, supplements that you're taking, or maybe it's not good for you, sweats, and my little tip is just take a damn shower.
Here's what I did.
But yeah, so it's like it varies, and the pH balance and listen, I don't know the
Yes.
female's body, but you guys
Charlie-
can. It's an open sore, like I always describe it. I'm
It
sorry.
is,
I'm
it is.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No, but listen, Ivy, but
Why did you say
listen.
open sore?
You know, sometimes
You have
when
to take
people
care
are
of it.
kids, their parents don't take them and bathe them. You gotta bathe your kids well. I
teach
remember
them.
when I was a little girl, when I was like 6, 7 years old, and I was taught to shower. I was taught you go your fingers like this, and you stick it up there, and you go like that, and you wash it. Like you have to wash it, and you have to wash it well. Like your mom, your mom teaches you that. Like you gotta. I was
Okay,
taught this
I'm
at a
gonna-
young age. You gotta wash it well. Like Charlie is saying, that's it.
Listen,
you
I'm
wash
gonna
it,
play
you
a
wash it well.
devil's
It's simple.
advocate here. The sex worker probably had a busy night that
That's
night.
what I was gonna
You
say
know,
too.
the business was
Shit,
booming.
money was
Back to
booming.
back.
Business was booming. So she didn't have time to wash.
Yo,
She was
Charlie.
getting.
Yo.
But can I say something? As much as that might be the problem, that still means that the there's a problem because sex does not smell. If you're clean, no, even if you just fuck 10 guys, it's not supposed to smell. Sex does not smell. I had a friend tell me that one day we were walking and we walked in somewhere and she was like, oh, it smells like sex. I was like, what? Sex does not smell. That means you smell.
I can smell if somebody's having sex in the next room. Sex do have a smell. No, it does. It does.
How does sex have a, what does sex smell like?
It just smells like
getting
it on. It smells like heat and passion.
If the guy, sex does not have a smell.
Charlie said,
sex does not have a smell.
Charlie said sex smells like heat and passion.
Yes. Fire.
The only time where it might be okay for sex to smell, and I don't mean this in any bad way, or like it's like sometimes if you're in a very hot climate, if it's summertime in America, you're in Jamaica, you're in Africa, and it's very, very hot, then I mean, okay, different story. You might smell like armpit or whatever, but the actual sexual intercourse, I want to repeat it. Sexual intercourse does not have a smell. If you're clean, it does not.
You know what?
Unless you letting mad dudes come up inside of you and you not washing, it's not supposed to smell.
Excuse me. First of all, what did this guy expect? You're walking towards a sex worker. You want it to smell like roses and petals and peaches and cream.
How much does she make?
He didn't pay enough to her to smell like roses and petals.
Well,
You guys are not even analyzing the whole thing.
We're analyzing the whole
Sex
thing.
worker, back to back all night, and you guys are even doing it in the trunk of a car. Does that even
So what
make
did you
sense?
expect?
So she doesn't have a room or something? What do you expect?
But you know what? This might mean that it must have
get what you asked for.
really smelled for him to run away.
He jumped out.
Like yo, I can't
Yeah,
even
right.
I can't
Yo.
even fathom this smell because it really must have smelled because
This
it's a
is not even, I'm going to say it again. I've said it before on this show. This is not even do or die. It's what do and die. Because you're going to thank God he didn't even pass out because there are some smells.
She should have died.
There's
I
some
hope she
smells
still
that
got her money.
can make you pass out and
like,
roll over.
And like Charlie said, he deserved it, and I hope he wasted his money that he had already paid her. Because what are you doing, engaging with a prostitute in the first place on the roadside? Come on.
We have to pay attention to a lot of girls when they talk because some girls always say that their pimping game can kill. Maybe this is what they were referring to. You're like,
Oh my
you know what I
God.
mean? No, we have to pay attention. If a girl tells you, if a girl
follow me, go now, enjoyment,
Go
kill up more. Exactly. So if a girl tell you, oh my sex game is strong, it could kill, listen to her and run for the gods. And when you're running, don't look back. I'm repeating it again. If you're running, don't look back.
Oh my God, I can't
No,
with
it's
you guys.
serious.
You guys are extra, man. Yo.
Baby girl, you battle.
Real bad.
No, you smell real bad.
Real bad.
Exactly.
I wonder if Runtown had these type of experiences
No.
Runtown, we need you here.
No.
I need you next to me.
It was a
Come
positive
answer
one.
these questions.
The song was a
Oh my
positive.
God.
No, if like I don't even know what to say. But let us know in the comments what do you think about this story.
Yes.
This is crazy.
Yes. Speaking about the comments,
Yes.
I've been getting so much DMs and messages. You guys keep them coming.
Oh,
like
yeah,
I
we do read
answer
them.
all of them.
We do read them.
I read them. I answer them. Good, bad, negative. That's what we're here for. Let us know how you feel, what
Yes.
you think, and
Amazing.
keep watching.
And this is what? ABS!
Thanks for watching, and if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.